Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to you all. This is Big Chonis here. If you guys live on the East Coast of the United States, Upper East Coast, you are digging out, just as I did this morning, from decent amount of snow and a little bit of ice. Got my snow blowing all done, got my driveway all cleared out, a pathway to the house all cleared out. And I decided to come live to you guys and talk a little bit about Bitcoin and what we woke up to, at least here on the East Coast of the USA. What we woke up to this morning in our quite bearish move here in our Bitcoin price action here. Now, what we're watching is a retest of our previous lows where we actually found very nice support on. Before we get into that, remember you guys can follow me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. I am a cryptocurrency trader, an investor, a mentor, a chart psychologist. I'm also a featured contributor to Bitcoin Live, and I love doing these broadcasts on YouTube for you. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy my content and a follow as well. Please reach out to me if you have an interest in my online personalized mentoring. It's a one-on-one discussion that we do via Skype, where you can see my screen if you like I can see your screen, and we can go over some basic TA and try and get you on the path to trading success. Please feel free to DM me or email me bigchonis@gmail.com. Quick shout out here to my friends who have joined me today. 50 of my closest friends today on this snowy football Sunday. What's up, Cannon Man? Hey, Pat, how's it going today? Thiago Horta, Mike, what's up, Jeanette? Hello, Claire. JF Airplane, Jonathan Limes, good morning to you as well. MWM48, Beetlejuice, what's going on, my guys? All right, so listen, I'm on the hourly chart here. Now, yesterday or day before yesterday, we had this bullish break here of our very tight equilibrium, and we were watching to see how the price interacted with this $3,700 area because it had been our near-term resistance after we had our last bear break over here. So we were looking for resistance if we were able to get above it slightly, coinciding with this cluster of price action here, which we had a little pause before we continued our bearish move. So we're looking at least a test of 3,700, potentially as high as, 3,770, 3,780 in this cluster here. And then after that, we could definitely see us getting pretty quickly up to 4K if we were able to get above these key areas, and not just above it, but actually close above it here. So what do we see here? Well, we saw this was a 5-minute wick. I'm on the hourly chart here, but this move here happened in 5 minutes. And what happened? We never saw the follow through. We never saw the follow through of that bullish price action that we were watching for. And that's why we got this bear break here. So we keep seeing this consistency here where we have a nice little green candle that comes out of nowhere, okay, on quick volume in a very fast amount of time frame, and we're just not seeing the follow through. The bulls are not taking the bait on these moves as we're consistently ranging sideways. Now this lower green line here, I didn't just draw this. I've had this for a while here because look where we found support initially. It's coinciding right with this 3480 area, which showed very strong support here. And once again, it's showing our support here. Now this is what's very scary. I don't like retesting areas of support, especially when we bounce off them for multiple times. We found a support here. We're able to range and bounce higher. And now once again, we're testing our lower supports. Now, for all the shows I put out this week, I've talked about this key area here. Nothing matters until we're able to get through and stay above 3,700 or break through and close below the 3,480 area. We looked promising yesterday. Now we're not looking so promising. And that was a decent amount of volume that came in for this bear break. So why did this bear break happen? It happened because we're not getting that bull follow through. The market still feels tired, still feels weak. Okay, the longer the sideways pattern keeps playing out, the less momentum we continue to get from our initial bull break after our major oversold conditions brought our price all the way down to 3150. Okay, the thing that separates 3150 or 33-ish from where we are now is this very lackluster support here, right sub $3,500. If this breaks, it's gonna be rough. Now, let's talk about some key areas of support before we get down to our double bottom retest. We're talking about this cluster right here. Kind of want to call it 3360. Okay. It corresponds with an area of support, turn resistance back to support, here, turn resistance, and we were able to break through it, been using it as support all the way. My point in this is I don't think if we are able to, or if we were unable to hold this 34 area, then we're just going to fall right through all the way down to the 3150 area. Once again, there's still one more level of support and potential buying pressure in this area if the bears bring the price down to here. And that's the key. Any kind of support here we'd like to see. Now, the problem with this is because we were able to currently find support at the 3480 area here and here, breaking it is kind of basically set up a resistance zone, and a much stronger than one than we had the last time. Support turns resistance, just as support of 3700 here, and here has turned to resistance, and quite notably strong resistance. This break here, you wanted to see the FOMO come in. It never happened. And now as 3700 is major resistance now, and the 3480 is just holding support. Breaking this could dissemble this area as major resistance, where now we have to all agree that the $3,700 area is now confirmed major resistance. Let's make this guy red, and let's make this support here green for now, because this is so important to hold. We break 3480 area, especially with a close below it, and clearly the 3360 area all the way down to our double bottom retest is in play. Now, I've been watching this pattern play out here still as a descending triangle. Talked about this on several shows ago. And the reason I've kind of felt this is going to be some sort of a descending triangle, go to 6 hour here, is because descending triangle. It's similar to what we had just been through. Okay, we had a bottoming, we had lower highs, consistent bottom, lower highs, consistent bottom, and now we see our littler guy here. And so far we have, lower highs, consistent bottom. Go a little bit wider here. Okay. And I think this trend's going to continue. I think we're going to retest our 3K $3,100 area once again. Okay. Maybe do something like this. Maybe a bounce. Okay. Find support, retest our line of resistance here at a lower high, okay, and potentially retest our 3K once again for that potential final break. I think if we get down here again, okay, we should find buyers here. There's a liquidity zone here. We see that with our initial support. But for now, this is still the pattern I see playing out. I know that, let me get rid of my lines here for just a second. I know that there is also, a different way we could potentially be now looking at this as more of a pennant or a pennant wedge here, and that's fine for now. But I just think these lower supports are going to break, and I'm looking for something more like this, with a continuation of our defined bottom, test before it breaks, because we know what this pattern is, because we've seen it before. Okay, there's nothing yet in this pattern that says it's going to be anything different from what we just saw of our descending triangle, obviously over a much larger price scale. Okay, now we're looking at here, and we're seeing that we can potentially be putting in a similar pattern once again, which would correspond with another tap of the 3K area, maybe several of them, while we keep putting in our lower highs. What do I mean by lower highs? Price label. Okay, this is consistent. Okay, we have to keep eye on this. I don't care if you want to be bullish here, but we keep seeing these lower highs play out. Okay, we only have one higher low. Okay, our higher low is anything above 3150, but we have a plethora. A plethora. Do you know what a plethora is? Nada does guapo, of these lower highs. And until that changes, until that trend changes, okay, there's really no bullish scenario until proven otherwise, okay? We still keep getting these lower high rejections. Let's clean this guy up. Go to our daily chart. Talk about yesterday's candle and kind of where we're at right now. So yesterday's candle, okay. Now this wick was actually kind of significant, 36.85, 37.65, 4. So we're basically looking at a, almost a $100, a little less than $100 wick here. And higher than our body of about 80 bucks there. So the clear sell-off on the lower volume profile didn't give us much confidence in yesterday's candle. Okay, we're still ranging in our zone here, and our close with a higher low was encouraging, but the lack of follow through on our wick and the way the day basically played out is consistent with our declining volume profile. We continue to see that here as well. Once again, guys, thank you for joining me on this Sunday. Remember, Super Chat is active. Tips are always appreciated. As we watch here, this bearish move on a Sunday. Now, listen, it is Sunday, which means that it's the end of the week. And we know what that means. We have a new weekly candle that's going to be closing out tonight, later on today, about 7, 8, 9 hours from now. Yikes. Now, you want to talk about upper wicks, okay? This is our current weekly candle here. Now, we were putting in a decent week. We had a nice looking candle. We were getting about halfway up last week's very bearish candle, and we just exhausted ourselves here. So right now, ranging right where last week's candle kind of closed. It's a little ominous here. God, if we close this sucker red, okay, back-to-back red weeks with a lower high in our price action here, I'm not liking that. I'm not liking the way this candle looks on the weekly. And listen, we're a third of the way through our month here, and we want to see something in our monthly candle that tells us we changed direction. Is there anything in this monthly candle that the bulls can really, hold on to here? I mean, this is a nasty looking monthly candle here. Again, we were bullishly engulfing our previous month's candle intra-month here when we were above 4K, looking pretty good. But now, upper wick here, losing momentum. And look at this monthly volume here with 10 days to go in the month. We're clearly putting in a much lower volume profile as the this month progresses here. I'm also checking out my 3-day candle. This is a new candle here. Okay, we closed our previous candles. Actually, wasn't a bad looking candle here. Very tight range here, very tight little dojer there. But now, just again, as we start this new 3-day candle here, yesterday we're day 2 of this day of the 3-day candle here. Similarly, looks kind of like close to that monthly there, just an upper sell-off, low volume, nothing looking good there as well. So if we close our day like this, we'll have a bearish engulfing candle still, kind of a higher volume profile. We're probably definitely going to put in a much higher volume profile on this candle because we have more than half the day left and we're almost closing in on the past 2 days of price action there. Let's look at some other indicators here. So I want to bring up my EMAs, EMA 12, EMA 26. Now, we were very encouraged a week ago when we had our bull cross. Okay, that failed to come to fruition, and now we're actually spreading out here. What happened was we got through our EMA 26. Our higher time frame indicator intraday yesterday, okay, but actually showed very strong resistance. And then we were able to close above our EMA 12. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take a close above our EMA 12 because it was so hard to get up there. But now we've been rejected by both of those. Very ominous signs. So this is kind of continue to spread out our EMAs on our daily chart, continuing that bearish price action as well. Let's look at our 12-hour EMAs. Okay, we were in a bull cross here for quite a while until we crossed bearishly, and once again we're watching that spread rematerialize, making it harder to get through these areas. These were areas of support, our EMA 12 and 26. Now they're going to be considered areas of resistance. I want to hide those guys for a moment. I'm going to bring up my Bollinger Band, go back to my daily, because listen, this has been such an accurate indicator for our price action here. If we can find support on our lower BB here, get up to our middle Bollinger, we can test our upper Bollinger. As long as we hold our middle BB, we can once again test our upper Bollinger. Once we lose our middle Bollinger, we can definitely test our lower Bollinger. And once we found support on our lower Bollinger, once again, we look to get back to our middle Bollinger, which we did yesterday and got hand slapped right here. So this area of 38, 37, 60 area from a historic standpoint of price history also corresponded right where our middle Bollinger is. This is very scary because what this means is now our price action cannot even get above our middle Bollinger. So how could we possibly retest our 4K area where our current upper BB is if we can't even get through our middle Bollinger? And that's the case. So because of our middle BB resistance, a lower test of our lower Bollinger is possible, and we're going lower here. We're actually beginning to expand this lower, and this could correspond with, again, that 3360 here, a bearish break of our lower BB intraday, intra-candle maybe. We get below it, and we find support. Every time we break our lower BB, okay, here and here, it's been a buying opportunity. We've found support there. Every time we broke above our upper BB on a bullish sense was a sell signal. And then here we just even weren't able to get up to it in the first place, okay? So we're seeing that consistency of, you know, that resistance now from our upper BB, now on our middle BB, and because of that, I still have to target our lower Bollinger, 3400 and falling. Let's hide my BBs for just a moment here. Let's pull up a TD count and see where we are. Now the daily has been bupkissed the past couple days here. We got a 4, then we did a price flip to a 1, only got 2 candles on that, another price flip. So nothing here. We get no data on the daily from our TD counts. Okay, 12-hour, red 2, still very early in the count. 6-hour, red 2, still very early in the count. 4-hour, red 4, still early in the count. And our hourly, red 5. This all happens because of our tight ranging. So we got to go to higher time frames to get more of a clearer picture. Our 3-day is at a red 4. Okay, and that's got some running room. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, as long as the price stays below $3,600. Our weekly, okay. Now, listen, we were going with some good momentum here. We had a green 2 over a green 1, even though we had a nasty ass candle. And 1, 2, 3, 4. If we close below 3,900 on this candle, which we probably are, considering we have, you know, 8 hours to go on this candle here. Looks like we're going to do another price flip to a red 1. And keep an eye on that monthly, guys. We're still on a red 6. This suggests several more months of a bearish price action potentially in play. Keep an eye on this. I'd love to see a red 9, a good perfected 9 with a nasty candle showing a bottoming, but that could take us till February, March, April, May area, where we actually put that in on the highest of time frames here, our monthly chart. Okay, let's hide our TDs here. Bring in my Ichimoku cloud, and I'm on my daily as well. Ooh, interesting here. Okay, so we're still looking at our cloud here. Now, the daily on the Bitcoin daily, we saw altcoins, Ethereum, Litecoin, other ones that were able to get into the cloud on the daily. Bitcoin was not. We were fighting Tenkan Sen support. Now we're fighting Tenkan Sen resistance, Kaijin resistance, and watch how we actually play here. We've yet to have a cross since November. And we're kind of very interested to see what kind of a cross we do. If our blue can come up into our red, that'll be a bullish TK cross. If our red can fall down into our blue, that would be a bearish TK cross. That'd be very scary because on a high time frame, definitely set a higher trend. Looking here at 12-hour, okay, our cloud resistance remains. And listen, our 12-hour has been accurate on many time frames in terms of specifying our TD count and our cloud count here. Look at that rejection. Okay, look at that rejection. Look how accurate that is. The price cannot get back into the cloud on the 12-hour. We got into it intra-candle, rejected. We tried the next candle, got right up to it. It was such a clear sign. And this is what I'm talking about that bearish TK twist here, TK cross. We have our Kaijin going up and into our blue Tenkan Sen. This is a bearish TK cross, and the lagging plays out here. Okay, now we're seeing Tenkan Sen resistance, Kaijin resistance, cloud resistance. Nothing looking good here on our 12-hour chart. And listen, we were encouraged to see, oh, maybe we're going to have a bullish Kumo twist. You know, as we see here, we were very long in the tooth in our cloud here, getting tighter, but we didn't do it. And now the chance we could actually re-expand our bearish cloud instead of having that twist there because of this major resistance here. Check our 6-hour. Similarly, able to get into it for a couple candles, fail to hold that, and then below once again. This is an example here of a bearish Kumo twist where we had a good sense here of a continuation. Now our bearish price action has brought us a red cloud here, making the resistance flip consistent. So all of our clouds are showing pretty bearish still, with almost a continuation or expansion of that bearishness there. Interesting pat candle. Take a look at that. So let's go back to TD. Amen. I want to bring up my my MA200 here on, there we go, the weekly. Okay. This is another thing we talk about, the MA200 on a high time frame like the weekly chart. Okay, acted as great support here, great bounce, boom. Okay, if we hit this again, 3276 and rising, okay, again, that's another reason for another bounce. Okay, we found a bounce off this line before, we could find a bounce off this line again. What's scary is that if we break this MA200, what was once strong support, it's going to turn into very strong resistance. Now, we did this back in 2014 in our bear market where we broke our MA200. Go all the way back here. Or I should say we rode it. There we go. We broke our MA200 on our actual bottom, intra-candle here. We rode it for some time, okay? And then we broke it again. And that second break caused our bullish breakout of our bear market move here. So this is our history of our MA200. Initial break followed by a nice bounce. And then we kind of bounce around it. That initial bounce, pull back, and then re-move here, okay, never got us that retest until several months later. Okay, this time feels different though. This time feels like, because we're so close to it, we didn't break it this way we did, but kind of similar on a smaller wick. I don't even think the BLX showed the break was even there. Oops. There we, oh, it did. Take that back. Yeah, there was that little intra wick there. Okay, so if we put a similar, scenario in play from what happened back in 2014, ranging above our MA200 on our weekly is definitely possible. It still keeps us mired in this low 3K range. And in this market, the longer we stay in this 3K range, the less comfortable I feel. because we're just not seeing that buying momentum feel like, oh, this is a good value yet for Bitcoin's price action. I want to take a look at longs and shorts, but before I do that, I want to go back to my Bitcoin chart here. Let's go back to our daily and pull up the ratio. So this here is a ratio of our longs and our shorts. And we can see our shorts here are still significantly lower than our longs over the past couple days. So we see our longs getting a little tired and our shorts starting to pick up a little bit more momentum. Now, when was the last time we had our shorts so low and our longs so high? And we have to go back to something like the beginning of August here, where we had our shorts really low and our longs decently high. And then what happened was our longs capitulated very fast and our shorts rose very fast, corresponding with bearish price action of Bitcoin. We're not there yet, but the spread is definitely notable. Let's pull up the actual charts. Start with our shorts here. Now, we haven't hit our line of volatility, okay? Close to it. And we see what happens last time we hit it here, here, and here. We had a tremendous rise in our shorts, like when a pretty lady walks by, okay? But we're not really seeing that follow through just yet, because for me, we haven't touched this line yet. Now, it doesn't mean we have to touch it to the T. It's possible at the bottom of our shorts is in, okay? This sell-off here of our shorts taking profit on this current bear break of Bitcoin is notable, okay? But I just don't want to touch this line just one more time. I want to touch it, maybe even break it, and get that sense that, okay, the shorts have definitely bottomed in the chart. Looking at our BTC longs here, okay? Now, this was a forerunner for yesterday. This was look at our candle yesterday here. You saw that there was no follow through. Longs were not loading into that bearish move, the bullish move of Bitcoin's price action yesterday. This was a warning sign because you saw, wait a minute, if longs are not loading into this, maybe this bullish move isn't as strong as we thought it could be. And sure enough, there's that longs going lower here. And basically what they're doing is they're deleveraging. Okay, longs have been deleveraging since really our top off here. We basically topped off around January 6th. Okay, remember the 6th from last year? We find our tops and our bottoms sometimes on the 6th. That's interesting. Once again, longs are not really feeling this market here, while shorts are beginning to rise. So we'll keep note of that. Look at ETH shorts here. Boom, just skyrocket there. Okay, they pushed the fork, okay, back another month. Maybe they can build on some, a couple more weeks of talk about it. And that's even if it happens in the first place. But clearly, that bullish sense of ETH taking the market higher with it has definitely been put on pause. What else did I want to discuss here? Oh, I wanted to go back to the BBs and I wanted to just take a look at what they look like on lower time frames. So our 12-hour, okay, got real tight. Okay, now this is a little ominous here. A 12-hour chart, Bollinger's, is pretty tight here, okay, which means this can lead to expansion, a bigger expansion. We can see we broke through our lower BB, just getting back up there, but because of this expansion of tightness of our 12-hour here, this can precipitate a more of a volatile price expansion. 6-hour below it and tight. Okay, on a higher time frame, we're tight here, so this can lead to expansion. 4-hour, very tight. Okay, and we're below it there. Keep note, when we break bearish, we can go below our 4-hour for some time. When we're tight, when we widen out, okay, that comes in here. So because we're still pretty tight in our Bollingers here, bigger volatile moves can definitely be in play during this area. All right, quick shout out to my friends in the chat. 110 of you guys hanging out with me on this Sunday morning where I am on the East Coast during a ice storm, it looks like right now. You guys have to do some snow shoveling, some snow blowing this morning. You know, the first big snowstorm of the year here where I am, and you know, I guess I'm kind of okay with it. Looking at dead grass or kind of a lackluster lawn. Now I have this winter white wonderland, but it's kind of ice over in the next couple days here, so that's kind of yucky. Um, Definitely would like to be in Vegas now, huh? But I'll be in Vegas next week. I'll be in Vegas next Thursday, flying in for the Big Tone Vase convention. So perhaps I will meet some of you guys there. And, looking forward to a good time there as well. Who else is in our chat room today? What's up, Max? How's it going, brother? Jonathan Limes, Pro Hammer. Dragon, what's up, buddy? Kerno Jim. Hey, Rodney, how are you, my friend? Hello, John. THC Funk Farm, like the name. All right. What else can we discuss? What else can we discuss? Let's. You know what? Screw it. Let's do a wheel spin. We'll do one wheel spin. There it is. Okay, my funky wheel here. Here comes the spin. We'll do an alt, and we'll go from there. And we're gonna do ADA. All right, so ADA, hide my wheel. Let's pull up ADA here. And okay, so this is the BTC pairing here. Okay, so bearish move here, buying action on the 4-hour, bringing it back to, let's go to the daily and see where we stand. Interesting. All right, so this is pretty ominous here. We did find support on our middle BB here. We are retesting it once again. Now look, right here, we could not get above our middle Bollinger. We couldn't our upper Bollinger. We couldn't even test our upper Bollinger, okay? We couldn't test our upper Bollinger. We're now finding minimal support here on our middle Bollinger. I target 1100. I'm targeting our lower BB only with a break of our middle Bollinger. But the fact that we're hitting it again here and here, this double tap, I don't like it here. I wouldn't be surprised if more bearishness can play out here. Just want to also do a sense here. Get rid of this guy here. Get rid of this guy here. Let's just do a quick fib. Let's see where we are here. So yeah, so we found 382 support. Now we're finding 236 resistance. And because of that, I'm going to be sitting down here at our 618 of right around 1,000 Satoshi. Interestingly enough, corresponds with this area of price history and this area of price history. Resistance turns support, back tested and held. There's a lot of history here right around 1,000 Satoshi. So I'm not a buyer here. I'm more of a buyer down here if the price action can get down here on the daily chart. Let's look at the USDT equivalent here. And oh yeah, we were talking about trying to get to these higher levels here, and we're not able to even do a one-to-one extension of our previous wave there. Once again, let's do a fib on the USDT. And where do we got here? Make sure we're accurate here. Right there we go. Right there we go. Top. And found support at the 55. Trying to get up to that 236. Couldn't. Now we're under our 38. So once again, looking for some sort of a price support around the 3.5 cents zone. Again, corresponding with this area of resistance turned support. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more spin of the wheel here. And let's do one more alt, and then we'll take a look at a couple more indicators, and then we'll call it a day. BAT. Let's go to BTC. Is there anything good looking in BAT? I can just tell right now, nothing good in this chart. Lower volume profile. Lower volume profile. We are finding a confluence of support here, and it's so important we hold this key area. Look at that. We had resistance, turn support. This entire area here is support, and boy, does this area have to hold. Okay, because right now we're doing this kind of a clear descending triangle here, right? And you know, lower highs, consistent low, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I think we're going to break this. Okay, maybe on a test right here, 37 is Satoshi, but I think we could break it. I don't like it. I want to take a look at ETH real quick here. And still haven't hit the 618 on the daily. Okay, finding support right at the 5.5. They're looking for that 110 to 108 ETH price, which corresponds, again, we talk about areas of support, turn resistance back to support. A decent amount of confluence right here at the sub 110, 108 levels there. Other than that, 97 bucks. 97 bucks is kind of our failsafe. And $97 ETH kind of corresponds to that bearish break potentially in Bitcoin of that retest there. I actually feel if Bitcoin gets down to 3150 area, ETH will have a higher low because it had a higher, it had a bullish, more of a bullish move. So a Bitcoin double test of our bottom isn't going to be an ETH double test of 80. It's probably going to be a higher, maybe in the 90s there. Okay, and then that double bottom bounce potential for Bitcoin could set up something in the right around $100 there, maybe a little less for that ETH support. Look at Litecoin. Okay, how much do we want to hold this 30 range here? Okay, look at this tweezer here. Look at this nasty tweezer on our daily tweezer rejection here. Okay, no one's buying over 33 bucks here. That's nasty. That's consistent, falling with this very bearish candle here. Just like ETH, Litecoin had a better move in its price action bullishly, and we've still, after finding that initial support here, on 618 to the penny, we're just ranging in this area here. So everything is leaning like we want to test lower areas because of what's going on with Bitcoin. All right, take a look at a couple more things here, and we'll call it a show. RSI rejection at 47, back to 42. We see how strong this area is, sub 50. Until we can get above 50, the bears have that control. Our Stoke was looking a lot better yesterday until we have this bear cross here. We can still hold this area of support to range, but right now we're in a bearish sense. Our MACD, we were about to bull cross and we didn't. We got that rejection, and our rising histogram currently is putting in a lower low than yesterday's candle. Keep an eye on this here because we can actually extend this bearishness if we put in that lower histogram profile. And chalk and money flow, not terrible, but we can see how our zero line is still consistent, very strong resistance. And our OBB oscillator, again, just not the mountains we're looking for. Lower mountains, lower mountains. So right now here, guys, I'm not liking any of this price action here. The fact that we were able to find support at 34.80 by just this wick here initially is just, it's just one of those things here where how many times can we test this area of support before it actually fails? And I think it becomes more and more of an increasing possibility every day. All right, guys, listen, thank you for joining me. I wanted to come by and go a little earlier than I normally do, but I wanted to see what our price action was as we woke up to this bearish move in Bitcoin here. And, you know, a little ominous price action here is just this 34.80 area. I'm not entirely sure how strong it is. I don't think it's very strong at all, especially if we retest it on another candle on the hourly. A break could potentially be imminent. 3480, 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks here, basically touched it and found support. We touch it for one more time, I'd be very ominous that the support's going to hold. And we talked about this next area that needs to hold somewhere around this 3360 area as our last bastion of defense before a double top of the 3150 area is definitely possible. With that, you guys have been great. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy some great football. Stay warm out there. It's Big Chonis. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this broadcast. Remember to follow me on Twitter. Please feel free to reach out to me to my online mentoring. And we'll keep you guys posted through the day if anything crazy happens, especially with a break of our 34 region here. Until then, guys, have a great day. Keep an eye on that weekly candle as well, closing tonight. Nothing looks good on the higher time frames right now. The higher time frames have kept us in line, have kept us in check. And once again, our higher time frames had not turned bullish. Lower time frames looking a lot better. That's even waning now. Okay, so our higher time frames have always been bearish, but now our lower time frames are starting to look that way as well. Until next time, you guys are great. Talk to you soon. Big Chonis. Peace.